Welcome to Real Talk with Arieta and Sera. Today we are welcoming our first guests onto our vlog.
Yes, we are so excited. So when Arieta and I were sitting down sort of brainstorming who we want to talk to, what we want to talk about, these two people immediately came to mind.
Yeah, hands down. I'm so glad that we've got them before they leave because they're relocating tomorrow
to England. Do you want to tell the people who we're having, or need to do a drum roll?
Yes. Mr. and Mrs. Naiqama.
Oh, hey!
So they're special to both of us.
Absolutely.
Because Kevin is Sarah's older brother. He's my primary school childhood friend, and he's married Lily, who is just so beautiful. She's a gorgeous soul. So they have an interesting relationship because they met and then they got married like very quickly.
Like within a year. It's going to be amazing, and we just want to really explore relationships because, you know, no two relationships are the same.
No way.
She's married, I've got a boyfriend, they're newly married.
Yeah, and it's just different for everybody.
I think ultimately what it comes down to is like the dynamics of a relationship, right? Like what makes you tick, what makes you happy, what makes you sad, what are your triggers?
Yeah.
What kind of emotional baggage are you bringing with you?
Yeah, real talk. So yeah, I think it'll be really interesting, and I don't think they'll be the last couple that we'll have.
No, absolutely
First
not.
but not the last. So yeah, we're honored to have them.
Okay, so buckle in, guys. It's gonna be great.
So yeah, introduce yourselves.
Alright, my name is Lily Allen, now Naiqama, 26 years old. A few things about me: I love donuts, I love cupcakes, love reading, love sports, CrossFit. Yeah, in a nutshell, I'm one of 13 siblings.
Oh, wow.
So massive family, have a lot of nieces and nephews, and I love God.
Yes, so my name is Kevin Naiqama. I'm Lily's husband.
Okay, now I'm crying.
Keep going.
In a nutshell, so I'm 29 years old. Currently studying carpentry. I'm about to start my third year via correspondence because I have to pick it up overseas in England. I am playing professional football. I've currently finished a 9-year professional career in the NRL, playing for West Tigers, Newcastle Knights and Penrith Panthers.
9 years. It's
yeah,
amazing.
When you look back now, it's been such a journey, and currently we're about to embark on a new journey. Just signed for 3 years in the Super League with St. Helens. One of 4 siblings. I got an older brother named Naiqama and 2 younger sisters. Obviously Sera, you that interviewed me, and Rhonda.
I'm your favorite.
Naiqama. She's
Roommate, so you get one up.
She is been my roommate the past 3 years and bunk buddy. 2+ years. Bottom bunk of her. But yeah, that's me in a nutshell, and love, you know, we're definitely excited to and happy to be interviewed by you guys, and hopefully we can share and encourage other people watching.
Okay, so that's Kevin and Lily in a nutshell. So as he had mentioned, him and I have been housemates, and I actually have witnessed him like go through his whole single phase of life, and it was actually really, it wasn't different or it wasn't bad, but like it really marked his character in the best way possible and set him up to be, I think, the husband that he is now. They have a very interesting, not a very interesting love story, but have a very unique, I think that's the best way to put it, a very unique love story, and one that really encourages me because I feel as though like when I look at them, it ultimately shows me like what I want in marriage. We don't want to add anything more. We actually want to give them the platform to be able to share their story. And I, for one, have been so encouraged.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, we've been so encouraged by them, and 100% you will be too.
So in terms of our relationship, who chased? I did. Which
just to clear that up, because my sister, Sera, always says that I sit in the DMs, but it was never to date.
Yeah.
It was always the intention of friends. It was never a pursuit of.
Okay.
Just to make that clear, because she's telling everyone that I'm sliding in the DMs like some.
You could have corrected me like 10 months ago.
But I let her have it's alright. I'll be the one. I'll be the chaser for everyone.
Well, no. If anything, I was definitely the one that pursued the relationship. Kevin was more patient and steady. He had been single for a really long time, I think about 4 years. So for him, he really wanted to be, what's the word?
I think, well, just just that word single, I think it was very important, that singleness for both of us. It gave us, for myself personally, it gave me time to find out who I really was. And I think you need that time. You know, if I'm not saying if you're married, it's too late. I'm just saying if you are single, you should enjoy your singleness. I feel like it gives you a lot more time to do stuff for yourself. Whereas when you move into a relationship, which what we have found, you get less time for yourself. So really enjoy that time. It shouldn't be a depressing time, or if you think like, if you're looking at everyone's posts like, oh, I want that. Because what you see from what's perceived on the outside world, there's a lot of hard work that goes on behind closed doors, which is where we are today.
It takes work. I don't think you ever go into a relationship or a marriage baggage free. I don't think you're ever perfect or ready. You kind of grow and evolve together, which Kevin has really helped me. You don't ever go into something completely perfect or ready, or you've dealt with all your shit. I think it's always ongoing.
Yeah.
But you need to find someone that's going to sit with you and really talk it out and not be judgmental and love you through it. That's what it's about.
We were sort of talking long distance for about 3 to 4 months. And then we decided to meet in Queenstown and just hang out and just spend like quality time together to get to know each other a bit more. It was pretty good that whole week, but in saying that, when she says patient, I was very patient in that whole week, and she could
maybe too patient. Once again, I had to chase, and I actually sat him down. I was like, "What do you want?"
And that's what it came down to. We had a honest conversation like that, and she said, "What do you want?" And you know, like for the first time, it sort of hit me in the face where I was staring at my future wife. I remember going to sleep that night and waking up that morning and just God speaking to me to say, "What else do you want?" Like you wanted a woman that loves God. And I put her right in front of you, you know, like you have the same interests. What else are you waiting for? And that's when it came clear as day to me that it was something that I definitely wanted to pursue. But in saying that, the reason why I waited so long is because I knew the next person I wanted to date was the one I was going in with the intention of marrying. We connected so well, I think, because of who we were before. So we're not these angels that you sort of see, you know, we have a past as well, and we're so relatable to each other, growing up with the things that we went through. And that's why we could reconnect so deeply. But above all that, it was mainly to do with our faith, our faith in God. And that was something that I wasn't going to compromise with. The woman I was going to marry, she had to first love God, and you know, that was non-negotiable for me, and Lily was that for me. And here we are, married.
1 year later.
5 weeks married, and that's me, we're halfway across the world.
So I was like, in, I guess, our society, there's an unsaid rule of how long you should be dating before you get engaged. And you had to date at least 1 to 2 years before getting engaged. And then you wait 6 months to 1 year at least to get married. So when we met with our other mentors, who was Brendan and Jackie, they actually told us, they go, well, why? Why do you want to wait? You love each other, you love God, you've had these conversations, we can set you up with the mentor, what's holding you back? And we went away from that conversation, we prayed and we talked about it. I'm like, yeah, we are ready, and we do love each other, and we commit and choose to commit to each other and learn on this journey of life together. And I was just saying to the girls before, like, time doesn't equal depth of your relationship. With me and Kevin, we always try to foster an environment where we talked about everything that was on our hearts, and I feel like that exhilarated our relationship in that shorter space amount of time. Because I've had relationships, even friendships, where I've traveled with someone for 1 year or 2 years, but we hadn't even touched on half the stuff that me and Kevin had talked about in the first month. So I really think time isn't a limit. It's how connected you feel to your partner. Have you talked about all the things that are maturely like necessary to go into a marriage? Not, you know, going in, I love this person, but actually, like, have you talked about the hard stuff? Have you talked about sexual expectations? Have you talked about children? Does he want to have children? Have you talked about what do you want to do for a future? Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
That was a big one too. Our future, what it looked like, because
it was hard.
What she has on her heart to serve God and what I have on my heart is two completely different things. But we definitely went into an in-depth conversation about that and what it would look like and how that would work. So the depth how we've measured is by our conversations and the topics that we've talked in, and totally opening up, which is I know a hard thing to do, especially for men, and it was for me, but I felt like it was a safe space with Lily, and she was always willing to listen and yeah, whatever I had to say that was on my heart, she would take in so gracefully, and yeah, just took there was a lot of growth through that, and I felt like I grew so much through that, being able to open up to her, which is the measure of that, and the fruit of that is where we are today.
It's obviously you've heard Lily and Kevin talk about having hard conversations so early on in the relationship, and I think it doesn't really matter where you are in your relationship. Sometimes it's really hard to talk about the things that we're worried about, whether if we're compatible for each other or, you know, whatever the topic may be. I want to ask them, how do they find the courage to be able to approach topics that they feel would be very confrontational for their partner?
Creating safe space is very important. You can't just bring up the conversation out of nowhere.
Yeah,
there has to be a safe space for you to have that conversation.
The setting is everything.
It is,
hey, you can't. It has to be at a time where your partner's not tired, where they have, where they haven't just come back from work, or they're not carrying baggage of their own. It has to really be at a time where he or she is able to listen and take it on board, and just taking in the context of the day. Small things like that is really important, and even maybe just preparing them for that conversation has been a big thing. If we need to have a confrontation or a talk, just setting that scene of like, babe, when can we talk? I'd like to address this, and he will either say now or let's talk about it a little bit later when we need to. A big thing for me is my anger. I react sometimes without really processing, and what happens is it comes like a verbal outcome without actually taking in what he's saying. The most important thing is to not respond in anger. So for me, it's about taking time, holding my tongue, whether he leaves the room or I leave the room. If we had a confrontation, I don't agree with what he said, or he doesn't agree with me, is that we take some space. And seriously, every single time that I've gone away, I have been able to process what he said, and I always come back. Well, I hope I do. I feel like I come back with more love for him, as opposed to wanting to hurt him or to want to prove myself or cut him down. So I feel like every time I go away from the situation, and for me, I pray, but whatever you do, you talk to yourself, you talk to someone, or however you process, you do that aside from the person, and then you go back with them with more clarity, and you can express yourself as opposed to yelling at someone.
Yeah, like obviously this is what works for us. So what we've just shared here with Arieta and Sera's talk show, which we want to commend them, you know, like they're doing something pretty brave and being a voice for the people that can't speak. So, you know, we love both of yous, and we're glad that we could be on your show. But yeah, we just wanted to say, like, this might not work for you, and please don't handcuff us because of our answers, but we found that's what works for us. And for all of you trying, you know, we're praying for you, and we hope that you will find a way to love each other. And for all those who are single, enjoy your singleness.
Yes. You never get it back. Love it.
Yeah, love it, own it, and you know, like, marriage is only around the corner, and you know, it's a beautiful thing. So but yeah, for all of you that are watching this, you know, thank you. We love you, and God bless.
Thank you guys.
Can we just debrief for a moment?
There was a lot of big things there.
I think the one thing that I have, there's like a few things that I've taken away, but one is time doesn't
equal depth.
Time doesn't equal depth, and I think that it like applies to every area of our lives.
For sure.
You know, like we think, I haven't been working in this job long enough to be able to go for that, or we haven't been dating enough for me to be able to tell him that I love him, or, you know, like it's just such a diverse.
But I believe in that in the context of relationships, because, you know, Junior and I have been together for almost 12 years now.
Junior, like the best decision Junior made. Second to loving Jesus.
I kind of chose him, but that's all right.
You know what? Power to the lasses that go after the boys, honestly.
Yeah, I really loved everything that they had to say, and it was really nice to start our first relationship kind of vlog on such a beautiful note, because I find that when people talk about relationships, they tend to talk a lot about the bad or the glittery, but these guys are like
the raw and the detail.
Yeah.
Which I think is like what resonates with people, is when, you know, like you could be going through a really crap time in your relationship, like a real hard desert season, and then you go into social media or you go into the, you know, outside, and you see people getting along so well, and then you become so discouraged, because you're like, how, like, there's the good and like the most wonderful, and in the, like, it's the in-between that no one is providing any sort of content for.
Yeah.
But no, this is just like a forum for everyone to just, I guess, engage, and, you know, if you got something out of it,
Amazing. Like, we'd love to hear your comments, your feedback, your questions. You know, while Lily and Kevin are moving to the UK, you can definitely send them through.
We'd love to send them on to them.
Yeah, and if you want to hear more, also if you want to hear about anything in specifically relating to relationships, let us know.
We are super excited to share this with you. We know that it will touch the lives, if not of one, of many.
Yes.
And please feel free to shoot through any thoughts,
questions, ideas, whatever.
Comments. We will make sure that we leave our personal accounts for you to follow, and stay tuned with Real Talk with
Arieta
and Sera.